Welcome to Benta with Mohaukwebu. I am the only Mohaukwebu. Today it has been the first day of the trial of Senzo Meyiwa. I think it will constitute the length of my clip for today. I'll be talking about the Senzo Meyiwa clip and what I deemed to be very interesting there. So I wrote a couple of facts down here. What was most important today from my side was the introduction of new lawyers. We have the introduction of lawyers like Advocate Mnisi, Advocate Musipidi, and Advocate Khumalo. Those were the three particular lawyers that were introduced for today in the case of Senzo Meyiwa. Remember, at first you'd have Advocate Tifo, who was the representative of almost four of them. So, and also I should also make a note that my comment or about the case will run about up until I was load shedded. I understand that the case went much further than I was load shedded, but there are certain points which I felt they were very critical that I would like to share them. Maybe some of them, there are certain new things that I might have not included here. That doesn't mean that I did not watch it up until then. It just means that I was load shedded, and there's nothing new about it because we know this is South Africa. One thing that I want us to get to before I get to my notes and what is it that I had is that I learned that an RIP to our legend Senzo Meyiwa. Everything that I'm going to say here, it's out of love, and everything that I'm going to say here, it's out of the lessons which I took from this court case. One thing that I've learned from this court case, which is very important, was as a man, never be pussy whipped. Never allow yourself to get into a situation where you are being controlled by your woman. Today we were listening to a gentleman by the name of Twala, was one of the friends who was giving evidence, and from the evidence I could tell Hore, I might have not known Senzo for quite some time, but I could tell you right now that Senzo was one individual that might have had a difficult upbringing, and then when he met this Kelly individual, this nigga lost all his marbles. He could tell that he did not want to do certain things, but he lost all his marbles. Like he was controlled by the actions and by the will of Kelly wherever. Oh, Kelly Magati, let's go left. He would cancel the plans. Even if he had already made plans and invited people with, he would cancel them. And I want to address something that I actually took it very personal when Kelly went to David Mashabela Studios for a sit down. One thing that came out very strong from that interview, Kelly said she was Kelly Khumalo before Senzo Meyiwa came. That simply meant that she did not need Senzo Meyiwa to be the person whom we all know who Kelly was. Like she was already famous. The only thing that I knew about Kelly Khumalo in 2014 is that she was a virgin or claimed to be a virgin. You can understand? And I also remember there was some photo of her that was very disparaging of somebody taking picture of her private part while she was performing and things were just hanging. That's what I remember of her. There was nothing major. There was one single that went out there, and for somebody who went and performed at Arthur's Can Do Fest, that doesn't mean that you were all that. It means that Arthur spoken to you and probably negotiated a paying fee and paid you 800 rand, and for you to even get to the gig, Senzo had to drive you there so that you could keep up with the fame that you thought people like you keep up with the looks. Like, yeah, I'm famous, so I'm riding with X5 and X what, and Senzo had to be the driver while he was supposed to be resting during the weekend. That's what we know. Do you understand? So what I heard from the friend today saying that they had a celebration to go to a party by Roy Mahamudza, and the next thing Kelly reminded them on their way out, Kelly reminded Senzo that, hey, by the way, I have a show today. to perform. So Senzo had to cancel going to the party so that he could take Kelly to them to the performance. This is what I'm saying to you, gentlemen. No matter you broke, no matter you are wherever in life, get yourself a woman that will be able to respect you, not control you. Here we have a typical example of somebody who was pussy whipped, who bakajabulele ukuthi uJola is somebody who was a celebrity in their mind because uSenzo Khulele Maplazini does not know anything about the entertainment industry, and get herself here, and instead of respecting his marriage, instead of respecting the fact that he has a wife already, he went and agijimisana nabo and stratmates zasegoli, and guess now today we're talking him as late. This is what we're talking about right now. Someone who failed to get his priorities right, and then even did not know when a woman has reached a limit where you could say no to them, but went on and continued and embarrassed himself even in front of his friends. That's the type of rubbish that me as an individual, I do not allow. I have a very powerful woman in my life, runs businesses, doing this, but when I say this stops, that stops. It does not matter whether what is what. It's very important to be a head in the family. You cannot just be a man and just be an exhibitor of balls and don't have a say in this relationship and move forward. So every time I'm sitting down and listening to this court case, I realized how much of a talented young person got fooled, do you understand, by a wannabe celebrity like Kelly Khumalo. Alright, what is it that I have learned today? What I've learned today is the fact that this particular lawyer called Advocate Munisi would like that one of the accused to retract a statement that said that Senzo was killed by a gun that was handled by Longwe Twala while Longwe was fighting and arguing with Kelly Khumalo. And from that fighting and scramble with the gun, then a bullet came and hit Senzo. So now this new lawyer says, no, I want, the accused wants to retract that statement. Why would you want to retract something so huge? Why? And for the fact that this particular judge right now is facing suspension all of a sudden, I'm beginning to believe that these powerful people are moving right now, are really moving, are really wanting this particular person to really see, or no, where we want now. Power is moving within this particular case. I can tell you that much. So also what we have learned right now is that there are few witnesses that we have already seen. We have already seen Tumelo Madlala. Tumelo Madlala is being requested that they want him to come back, because as a person who was inside where the scene happened, it was very crucial so that they could have him back, and then they could talk to him. There were two advocates, Mr. Mahlobo, is Mohlahlo. Mohlahlo was that particular police who actually compiled the photo album that each and every time we see who went inside the house and took pictures there. So this particular advocate would like to have them to come back, would like to re-examine them again. And we have those two advocates. There was the first one that was sweating all the way and ended up getting sick, and then there was the second one that came there acting like he's all clever and ended up not knowing what to say as well. So what we know is that this particular advocate, instead of us progressing and moving forward, he wants us to go back again on stuff already that we have already been canvassed. And when I'm using the word canvassed, it reminds me of Advocate Baloyi, the one that is representing the state. That gentleman, I'm telling you, must go and have a conversation with the makers of Vaseline. He's always shining, but that makes me remember that, because there are cameras, and with cameras comes this lighting which is very hot. It seems like he's the only one that is shining that way. He's the ambassador of shininess, blackness, and Vaseline. That's one thing that I know that I've learned for today. And they say there was this instant where Mtogosisi said they went to, was it Malbec or where Senzo was staying, and then they went there, had beers, and then Senzo was with Kelly and Kelly's sister, and I think they were having beers there, and then isikhathi masiloku sihamba, Kelly went to bed and sleep, and the sister followed as well, went to bed to sleep. Here is my question. It's not Marlboro, it's this other place that they said Senzo was sharing it with Kelly. Can you even listen to that? You have a wife, ushadile. You come here, get a stratmate, and even get a place where you are staying with them. This celebrity wannabe cannot even afford to have their own space. You even hire and rent a place for them. Hey, this guy, Senzo was a very stupid individual. It's my opinion and I have a right to say it. You can say whatever that you want to say. He was a stupid man that took wrong decisions that landed him up dead. And right now, we have to sit through all this trial, and even his ancestors could not protect him because they realized that what type of a fool allows us to go and bring him a beautiful, wonderful wife, and then you come here and you get fooled by fame in your head. You shouldn't do that. As a man, you are not representing yourself only. You're representing the surname. You're representing those who came before you. So here's my story. I first believed that Senzo was dating and making love and having sex with both Kelly and his sister. I would like to know if those lawyers would ask, that house that they were staying in, Senzo and Kelly, how many rooms were there? Because I believe that when they say that Senzo went to sleep, I think Senzo went to sleep with both of them, Kelly and her sister. I believe that. And it is alleged for now because I don't have proof. How? I don't want to lie. So, in brief, that was what had taken place today. Up until we learned that I've learned a few things today. The most important things that I've learned is the fact that Kelly is still the most important individual in this particular case. No matter how much she would like to distance herself from this case, she knows more than she's been letting in. And then if you know what's good for you outside there, you should be staying away from this individual, because not only is she a liar, but she's a leech. That's my opinion and I own it. And I would want to finish it by going back and saying, gents, let us not allow fame and temporal money make us forget the types of commitment we made to the people that we love. Do you understand me? I don't have a problem with anybody else who is dating someone who is famous. I have a problem with someone who is in a committed relationship, someone who is in someone who's married, would go out and have affairs, and then uzofele manyalini after that. I have a problem with that particular person. I am a man of my word. You understand? I might not be many things, but one thing is that if ngukutshela ukuthi ngiyakuthanda and I have you only in my life, that's how it is. Someone says, no, I've never had the money that Senzo had. I've never had the fame that Senzo had. I've never had women throwing themselves into me. Well, I had my share of fame. If you do not know me, you must go and search Mohaukuibu in the net and see what comes there. I had a fair share of performing and ladies throwing themselves at me. And I know how it ended. It ended up with me losing the family that I was supposed to be having. So I'm telling you from experience. I'm not telling you from the fact that I do not know the life of fame. I know it very well. And I know the life of working in the media space where everyone wants to have your piece. I know it very well. You have to practice what you call this discipline. You got to have principles that you need to stand by. Somehow they say success and richness and wealth will take you where your principles will not sustain you. That's when you need to have powerful and important people around you. The types of friends that Senzo had were his fans. If I am your friend, I'm supposed to be the one to have critical conversation with you and tell you good la uyapaiza. This you're not doing it. And if you're continuing to do it, I'm no longer your friend. I step back. I cannot just be happy that you are a famous friend of mine. You can pick me up whenever you want. Look, I have people that I know that are famous, that are in the space of television and media and entertainment. But whenever I have plans with myself and family, you can't just pick up a call and then the next thing I drop everything. Even this particular friend called Twala, he would say that, no, Senzo, I'll be with Senzo the entire day, not having planned to be with him there, ended up sleeping at his house, and the following morning would go somewhere else, and later he would decide that he would drop me back home. And after dropping me back home, 5 minutes he would call me and say, no dog, change, we're going somewhere. And guess what he'll do? He will go as well. I'm not that type of friend. I might not have those things. If you are my friend and you are famous, you are not going to control my life in that particular way. Do you understand each other? That's the reason why I don't believe in this sickness called friendship. Because it feels like it is somebody seeking for excuses to put their secret in. If you ask me what is a friend is a USB of rubbish, a USB of secrets that could always be used against you whenever it suits those particular people. That's why I only have acquaintances and people that I know and people that I grew up with. My friend is my kid. My friend is my success and my goals to the future and my person. And if they are not here, I'm stuck with recording things, writing proposal, resting, and just planning on what can I do for myself and develop self to the next level. That's what is important. So if there is anything that we should take away from this case of Senzo Meyiwa, besides the fact that there has been injustices that is going to be happening and all of these things, we must learn that if you are a dude, you need to be able to know where home is. And then no matter the circumstances that you are faced in, no matter the that you'll have, the temptation that you'd face across, you need to be a man of your word. Right now, the family has lost a breadwinner. Right now, South Africa has lost a captain because we have individuals that do not that do not stick by their words, and they are always cheating themselves. If you are cheating on your partner, you are cheating on yourself, my brother. And if you are a man just like me who believes in ancestors, who believes in spirituality, African spirituality, you are disrespecting and embarrassing those who came before you, who gave you the opportunity to be where you are right now. So let's rise up in the mind and be able to stand up. If you are choosing to have friends, I don't have problem with people who have friends. Do you understand? If you're choosing to have friends, make sure that those friends are not your stands. They are not going to be, always on your shoulder to say, you're the best man. They're always happy to see you, and you can do and say everything to them. You can inconvenience them. They will always be there for you. They won't mind. They will not be critical with you. If you choose to have friends, choose to have people that will be able to show you the way. People that will not be afraid that if I say this particular person is going to take away the privileges of giving me tickets to go see him in spaces like wherever he is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let us be real with one another in those friendships that you guys are in. Let us be real with one another. And if someone is not real with you, you got to put them to task. What's the use of a friendship if that particular friendship does not elevate me to become a better person to my family, a better person to the profession that I am, and a better person to each other, and a better person and a better human being? The only thing we share, ubufebe, ukuphuza, and just nje ukulahlana. No sense of financial control, no sense of direction, anything else. So Senzo was a stupid man who died emanyaleni because he was unfaithful, and he deserved everything that was coming to him. This is not to the family. I'm sending all my prayers to the family. The family deserves justice. Do you understand? The family do deserve justice. But that gentleman, he should open our eyes. Should open our eyes. Now we're clever, open your eyes. XC. That's been Mohau, another banter from Mohau Kwebu. Take me to task. take me to task. Put in comments there and challenge what I say. Do you understand? So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share this, and then let us have conversations about this. We need to be real with one another, gentlemen. Africa is waiting for real brothers that are going to take Africa to the next level. And if we are not critical to one another, we are not going to go any further. We're going to die. Sibulawa utshwala nensango and drugs and girls. That's it. Sisonke. Let's meet again. Mhlakasima sokhona.